This year, I'm going to be 40 years old. It's hard to believe I've spent the past 29 years lost in the mythical world of my imagination. I was an excitable 11-year-old when I first saw the sign promoting a short story contest in school with a grand prize of free movie tickets and a pizza dinner. My classmates and friends knew that generally, instead of usual childhood interests, my passion was history, so it came no surprise when I first set the pen to paper on a fall morning a story saturated in a historical event would soon transform into a tale of a haunting. I took the grand prize, but my story was too graphic to publicly display, so instead the name of William Brower, a.k.a. young Stephen King, was shown on a placard where the story originally was supposed to go. After learning I could scare people just by twisting elements of history into peculiar plots, I decided to commit myself to the newborn craft. Years later, after having family members criticize my decision to pursue writing as a career and a dreadful phone conference with a literary agent who was surprised to learn that Conan the Barbarian was written as a literary character before Dino De Laurentiis produced the film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, I, in a fit of frustration, gathered the folder of manuscripts, doused lighter fluid on them, and set it on fire in my grill. Luckily, my wife intervened, extinguished the flames, and subsequently smacked me in the back of the head with enough force to send my glasses flying the opposite direction. After I developed a name for myself in this cutthroat industry known as writing, I started to receive questions about how one is able to write and produce a story or novel. In this book, you will see how over the span of 8 years, an imagination slowly evolved while still maintaining a love and passion for history at the very core. Many of these later editions also feature unfinished works simply because the idea wasn't flowing properly, but at times you'll notice that characters or plots will be replaced into other works, thus filling the puzzle. Other items are sadly either too faded to fully salvage or the burn marks erased its concepts. Now it's time we pause and reflect on the foundations of writing for this South Florida author. W.E. Brower, Jr., February 9th, 2015. A Soldier's Journal by W.E. Brower, Jr. September 17th, 1862. My name is Private John Williamson. I will be the first to admit that I didn't join the service for my country or to be patriotic. My reason is of a personal nature. It seems like only yesterday when it happened. The day Fort Sumter was fired upon, I came home to an empty house. A note laying on the barren table was all that remained of my family. My wife wrote that she had fallen in love with someone else, a Southerner. By the time I would read this note, she would be in Georgia with our daughter. All that sparked my hatred for the South. This is why I joined the Union. I swore to God that after I enlisted, I would kill the first man who speaks like a Southerner. Today, we fought at a small place outside of Maryland. The name is Antietam. Never before have I seen such valor and bloodshed. The roar of the muskets and the stench of the sulphur mixed with incinerated flesh. The creek itself ran red with blood of many. We tried our best to take them down, but the odds were against us. There was mass confusion when the call of retreat sounded. I turned and was about to leave when I witnessed something that touched me in a strange way. A drummer boy for our corps. He may have been 8 or older. When the call sounded, he picked up a fallen officer's sword from the ground. The blood was dripping off the sword and over the boy's hand. He still held firm, and his eyes were glaring at the enemy with the look of a cornered animal on the verge of attack. Then in a flash, he went charging down the hillside past our retreating forces, the sword in one hand and the regimental colors in the other. In an instant, he disappeared as the thunderous shots of gunfire rang out. Following the battle, we found his body at the bottom of the hill. The flag wrapped around him and enshrouded him like a death veil, his blood staining the colors of glory crimson as his life left him so quickly. It seems the death holds no preference as to the age of the victim. That 1 second, though, I will always remember.